everyone, welcome to today's speed build. Today I'm doing another underground build. If you saw my last video, I briefly talked about this one. This was my first idea when doing an underground build. It's going to end up being for a family of aliens, which I just thought was pretty fun. Like the ground level is going to be sort of incognito and then their whole house is underground. It's a very simple house, just the bare necessities, and then they have like a technology room and then a really cool alien-esque greenhouse area. The whole interior, I wanted to have that sterile white feel. When I think alien spaceship, that's what I think. I don't know why hospital room comes to mind, but I went with it. So I guess this is sort of like a white challenge build, but not when we get to the greenhouse. So only their living quarters are like this. I realize you would think white would just be, you know, one shade. I can understand black shades sometimes being a little off because they have different undertones, but I never realized that was a thing in white until building in The Sims. And lo and behold, every white swatch does not match. Seems like a reoccurring thing for this game. But keeping with the white theme, it seemed like I had to use a lot of elegant, quote unquote, elegant looking furniture. I tried to steer away from that as much as I could, but it was really limited. I used a lot of the, what was that pack? Get Famous items are in here, as well as Spa Day, so it definitely has that luxurious feel to it, especially the Spa Day plants. I think a lot of those vases just have that like alien pod look, that uneven oval shape to it. I guess the family I actually used, because I always have a family on the lot when I'm building, is a alien family I already had. It's way too big of a family to live in this. There's only this one bedroom here, so it's just for 2 Sims. But I mentioned this in my last underground build, you can add rooms so easily because there really is no restriction except for the lot size. But for this build, I just kept it to 1 bedroom. I really did want to go very simple, and then I put more care and attention into the greenhouse area, which will be sort of towards the middle of the video. The Spa Day walls and flooring I loved for this because they give off the effect that they're almost glowing, which I thought fit this build very well. I thought this room would be their sort of relaxing room, hangout room, family time. I put the bookshelf in here, lots of seating. And this is also the main entrance into their home. Very minimal on the decorations, couple wall items. I just filled in the shelves on the bookcase. I like this bookcase. This one's from City Living. I think it has that very modern, simple, sleek look to it with just the grid design. I really like that. That's actually a style I like in my real life too. I played with the heights of the decorations I put on. I ended up switching a couple around. I did put, I think this is the only room I ended up putting a plant in aside from the greenhouse just because I needed something else on that top shelf. Yeah, that little stone plant from Spa Day. And the lights I like too on the wall, those nice slim lights. I also like using those in pools. And this floor light rug seemed to work pretty well. The kitchen, I think it's the smallest kitchen I've ever built. It's a true alley kitchen. I think I had an apartment one time that had one this size. Actually, my apartment kitchen was probably smaller than this one, if I'm being honest. But yeah, this is definitely the smallest, simplest kitchen I've ever built, but it's, again, just the bare necessities for them. I think aliens in The Sims have to eat, but I don't know if like aliens in real life, assuming aliens exist, if they would need a kitchen? Not sure. I did not include the spaceship in this build. I couldn't think of a way to include it that wouldn't show on the surface level, so I nixed that. It took me a while to decide what furniture I wanted in this room. This is the technology room. There's a lot of computers, TVs, there's some stereo systems, there's the gaming consoles. I figured this would be like a surveillance area for them, or maybe they came down to Earth to test out their vegetation with ours, and this is where they test it all. And then, of course, the video upload station, I thought that fit in well too. Obviously, it would just be like a fun, entertaining room for your Sims to play in here, but my theory was that they're definitely testing something, whether it's testing human behavior or testing the vegetation growth on our planet. I thought it was a cool idea and figured they would have a lot of technology. You know, because we are the dumb species here. They're the advanced ones. As I'm doing the greenhouse, you'll notice that there's a big time jump. The reason is because I actually brought one of my Sims down here to have her plant the actual plants, and then I use MC Command Center, and I just had them all go to the full bloom stage because I wanted that look for, you know, the video, screenshots, all that, but you will notice that there is a jump once I start placing all the plants down, just because I did have to have her plant them all. And I had to have her plant some of them in the planters up on the surface level because it wouldn't allow me to plant them inside because I guess they count as trees, which I found interesting. I could then move them down here just fine, they just couldn't be planted while inside. And these get to work plants, like the alien spores and grass, I thought were really cool, and those floating purple, almost daisy looking flowers. The terrarium rooms, I did put alien plants in there, and they're not really hidden from above ground, but I thought that was a cool thing. People could just think, oh, some strange plants growing underground. And then I added some of the crystals and collectibles around the room just to give it that glowy look. I added words are hard. I added some of the floor lights too. I think they're from City Living. I could be wrong. They're the multicolor floor tiles. You'll see them in a little bit after the time jump. And then I added the island living plants too, the underwater ones. I just thought they looked cool. Oh yeah, those are the floor lights I was talking about. Whoa, camera jump, sorry. But that's when I had to go back and move all the plants back underground after they were planted. And I just sized those trees down so that they wouldn't poke up above the surface level. But I like how that room turned out. It's just completely cluttered with alien and funky looking plants. I thought it was pretty cool. I put a couple of the alien tombstones in there too. I just like how they look. It's not meant to mean that they're dead Sims in there, but I thought they looked pretty cool. And then I vined up this hallway here. I figured this hallway was the more maybe where they're splicing the plants together, and then the bigger room is where they have the true alien plants. That house there is just a debug item. It's not usable in any way. I think your Sims will completely ignore it, but I thought it was cool. Above ground is just sort of like a park, playground, city area, because this fenced-in area I put in all the water collectors, solar panels, the wind turbine things, and I figured it looks like normal Sims would just assume it's like, oh, it's like a city building where they do maintenance and stuff, very inconspicuous, and then just the park and a little fishing pond behind it with like some abandoned shack. And I think it's found in Willow Creek, that abandoned tree. That's also a debug item, and it's base game. It came without any expansions, but it's really cool, especially at night. It lights up and stuff, and it has those funky mushrooms growing up the side. I thought it would be like maybe the pollen from the plants that are in the terrarium rooms got out and started making that weird tree. I just thought it was a nice, cool little touch. And this is in Oasis Springs, so I just kept the landscaping to match the exterior, you know, kind of sparse but very desert-y. Couple flowers here and there. I use the same ones that are around. Again, all in the debug item. And just some rocks and some terrain paint. And I mean, it looks pretty simple, but I figured it was a good work into the world around it up on the surface level. And I think we are coming to the end of the speed build here. I do have a picture montage at the end. I couldn't do a walkthrough just because it's so little and the camera in the basement level is a little funky, so I just did pictures this time. But if this is your first time here, I would love if you hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning person, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!